Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and I just want to say how exciting it is to be in a room full of people who absolutely understand that this is absolutely a system that's rigged against us and what we are fighting against, and we have an amazing candidate that we are going to fight for. This campaign is about all of us. This is our campaign, and this is
people's heads.
And this is about building political power for the people. It's about having an elected representative who will put human rights, social justice, and climate action first. A representative who is not bought and influenced by APACs, super PACs, and lobbyists, who will pull that lever of power in Congress and vote in the interests of the people, not in the interests of the corporations. Our campaign is for the many, not the money. And we have an amazing panel of featured speakers today because the key to this campaign is working with community to build our platforms, our positions, and support legislation with leaders and activists fighting for the people. So if you can't tell, we take things pretty seriously, and we want serious people on our team, advising, talking with us, and getting specific, as well as the broad strokes too, right? For the many, not the money, the candidate you've all been waiting for, Sean Dougherty.
Wow, you know, when you put on an event, or at least when I put on an event, all I can think about for the 2 weeks leading up to it is will anybody show up? Not kidding. And so I'm thrilled to see all these people turning out, and I'll admit you how it made me cry. It was really touching to hear that my campaign last time meant so much to some people. Yeah, that really meant a lot to me. Thank you. And well, thanks to everybody that came to speak, and thanks to everybody that came to attend. I mean, as you know, this is a huge district. We have people from Monterey County. Chris came from Sacramento to speak today. Thank you, Chris. That was an incredible talk. And then, yeah, Monterey County. I don't think we've got anyone from San Luis Obispo. No, yeah, I didn't think so.
Santa Cruz.
Oh, sorry, yes, of course, I'm from Santa Cruz. Right. Yeah. Did I not mention that?
Santa Clara County.
Santa Clara County, yeah, oh yeah, tons of people from Santa Clara County. Thank you, audience. I really want to thank you, Ashley. I mean, without Ashley, none of this could have happened. You know, the flyers, the booking, talking to the featured speakers. Yeah, so if it had all just been me, well, it just wouldn't have happened. Frankly, I mean, when I ran last time, our campaign maybe did a single event, and it was just a signature gathering event, and a trickle of people came. This is something next level.
You still got 6%.
6.5%, thank you. Not 6.5. And so that brings up an important point. This is a huge district. And Jimmy Panetta has been in office for almost 10 years. He was elected in 2016, and he's never had a challenger that was serious enough to be able to knock doors against him, because the district's just too big. It takes so much resources. Well, that ends now with this campaign.
Yeah.
Jimmy Panetta has never been this vulnerable. I know that for years when I've talked to my fellow progressive activists, they've been frustrated with him. They haven't felt that he had the right priorities. But what are you going to do? You know, who's gonna challenge him? Who could possibly unseat Jimmy Panetta?
Sean Dougherty.
All of us, we're gonna unseat the bugger.
Yeah, well,
The many.
I can tell you, That's
Right.
not how people talk about Jimmy Panetta anymore. Now what people say is, we need to get him out of office. It's
Amen.
completely changed, night and day. And it is absolutely because of his support for the genocide in Gaza. And it is so easy to prove that he is following Israel's agenda. You just have to go to fec.gov or opensecrets.org and you can see that's his top donor. He doesn't listen to his constituents, he listens to his donors. That's his top donor. And his constituents know about it. The pro-Palestine activists have known that for a couple of years now, and their friends are learning about it, and more people are learning from them. The word is spreading. Just when we had our Pride Parade in Santa Cruz, spontaneously a crowd broke out into anti-Panetta chants. It was an event that had nothing to do with Panetta, it had nothing to do with me, just people are furious at this man. I like to say, he doesn't belong on Capitol Hill, he belongs at The Hague, right?
Right.
That's our stretch goal, right? We're gonna get this man out of office. I just want people to understand, it really is changing, it really is. Just a year ago, a local group that I participated in that is actually organized around opposing Panetta, it's called Panetta Vigil, started holding events in the hallway outside of his Santa Cruz office. And we did a round of introductions, and one of the exercises we were sitting around in chairs, and I introduced myself, and then I started saying, we actually can't reason with this guy, he's bought, but I support these actions, I think we need to bring awareness to it. And there were multiple people in that circle of chairs who said, oh, that's so discouraging. I mean, he seems like a reasonable guy. He worked with us on that climate bill recently. One of those people that said that to me a year ago went on to be a plaintiff on the Taxpayers Against Genocide class action lawsuit, which included Panetta as a defendant. So that's how far that activist came in just a year. I think probably everyone in this room is very excited about Mamdani's victory. It showed, I think Zoran Mamdani shows a way forward, a model that we can emulate here in this district. Knocking on doors, social media, people power. A lot of his volunteers came from DSA, so we work through, I'm not saying necessarily DSA, but we work through our various organizations and we stitch together these coalitions. We can do the same thing that he did. He was outspent, 25-1? We need some money, we need to print brochures. That's the main thing I'm concerned about right now. But yeah, this is a special district. This truly is a unique opportunity. We have a real opportunity for a revolution. This cycle, we can unseat Panetta. We really can. And I think it was already mentioned, in this district, in 2024, my campaign got the highest vote percentage of any Green running for a national office throughout the whole country. This is the strongest Green district that we have. And I want to say, I don't think that's because of me. I consider myself a competent enough guy. It's because of people like Istafa and Nuha. I really think that, I mean, there are other organizations that helped as well, but I think in particular, SAMPAC and MAA, I mean, you really went to bat for me, and I really credit you for getting that 6.5%.
You deserve it.
And I want to comment on why I think it's important that I'm running as a Green. A lot of people don't understand it. They say, Sean, why don't you just run as a Democrat? It'd be so much easier for you to win. The reason why I think it's most important for me to run as a Green is that the people voting for me aren't just taking my word for it that I'm not taking dirty money. It's required by my party. That G next to my name on the ballot is a seal of approval. You know that I'm not taking super PAC money or money from corporations. And so you can trust that G means that I am going to listen to my constituents, not big donors. And it's also worth mentioning that Democrats are the least popular they've ever been. That's just a fact. Going back decades, we've never seen their approval rating so low. And guess what? It's even lower today than it was 6 months ago. They continue to slide because they're so incapable of fighting against Trump. Their voters hate them. Like, you're worthless. So this is an opportune moment for a revolutionary campaign like this one. And I also want to say, even if we were to get just one Green into office, it could make a difference. Sorry, Frank, two. Even if we get 2 Greens into Congress, it could make a huge difference. My favorite example is Shama Sawant. She got elected to the city council in Seattle and single-handedly drove through huge policy wins, like a minimum wage at the time was the highest in the country and continues to be the highest in the country because she tied it to inflation, so it kept automatically going up. She also got the so-called Amazon tax, which raised the funds to build housing. One person, none of the other people on that city council, who, by the way, were all Democrats, none of those people on the city council wanted those bills to pass, but she scared them into voting for it by mobilizing their constituents, putting the fear of God into them, like, you're going to lose your seat if you don't do this. So it just takes one person, I think. We don't have democracy right now. Multiple studies have showed it objectively. What the constituents want doesn't affect the voting behavior of their representatives. In my opinion, the number one problem, the number one reason for this lack of democracy, for the lack of responsiveness from our elected representatives, is the campaign cash. That's not the only problem. It's not the only problem, but I see it as the biggest problem. It's not just at the federal level. I see it also at the local level. When I talk to activists about, well, why aren't some of these local leaders trying to stop the use of pesticides around schools that are giving the children brain cancer? They say, oh, well, they can't go up against big agriculture. Big agriculture is going to back their opponent, right? Outspend them, kick them out. So it's all throughout our country. But we can set a model, or we can follow the Mamdani model, apply it here, and inspire other people to do it. Well, actually, Gabe did it too.
Local level,
Yeah. And Gabe did it also by knocking doors. That's worth mentioning. So Gabe unseated an incumbent Republican. As he said, a Trump Republican. And how did he do it? By going and knocking on doors. And he found that a lot of these people were relieved that he wasn't a Democrat or a Republican, right?
Yeah, they were really, that wasn't easy for him.
Yeah, so I think actually some of these conservative areas are ripe for a Green victory. I mean, look, taking down Jimmy Panetta in terms of the substance is trivial. I mean, this guy is almost like cartoonishly villainous.
Yeah, he's a Nepo baby.
Yep.
He is definitely a Nepo baby. Yeah, everybody knows he's got that job because of who his daddy is. We even had a speaker slip up and say his daddy's name on accident in this place, right? That's how he got that job. Yeah. I mean, on the issue of Gaza, it's already mentioned several times, but his top donor is the Israel lobby. One of the most shocking things to me that he's done is October 2024, so a year into the genocide, he flew to Israel, went to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu, stood next to him in his office and had a photo taken of himself.
That's what he does.
1 year into the genocide. He's proud of what he's doing, it seems. This campaign is going to be talking a lot about housing, I just want to mention Jimmy Panetta's solution for the housing crisis, because I think it's so ridiculous, and it shows where this man's head is. As you all know, nobody can afford a house here, or it's a real stretch to at least. His proposal is that if you lift the cap on the taxes that someone pays on profit when they sell a home up to $1 million, then that's going to free up housing supply. So that's his solution. It's like, won't anyone think of the tax bill for the people making $1 million in profit? That is not the kind of solution that we need in Congressional District 19. And I'm pretty sure the way he came up with that solution was going to dinner parties and talking to his friends. I'm pretty sure it was his donors telling him that we need tax breaks. Our campaign lays out a number of solutions on how we can make housing more affordable. I feel like I've gone on long enough. I end up thinking I'm talking for 30 seconds about housing, and then 10 minutes goes by, so I'm not going to do it. But I just want to mention one idea I really like, which is, what if the minimum wage was tied to the cost of renting a one-bedroom apartment? Now, Shabo Sawant got that in Seattle for inflation, okay, but here in Congressional District 19, inflation isn't good enough. Over the past 30 years, property values have gone up at 6.5%, inflation has been like 2.5%, and consequently, everything's unaffordable. So we need to link it to housing, because that's the biggest expense most people have in a month, right? So let's tie it to that. Or you could vote for Jimmy Panetta, get tax breaks for millionaires. And of course, my campaign is also going to be talking about Medicare for all, free college, debt-free college, free child care, abolishing ICE, abolishing these detention centers. I really want us to focus on ending the use of pesticides, certainly next to schools. I think that's actually going to really resonate with a lot of people in Monterey County and southern Santa Cruz County. That's going to give us some real inroads in those communities. I want to see a moratorium on lithium-ion battery storage until we can better understand how to make that technology safe, and we need to explore other technologies. That's an issue that I think is going to resonate with people in Monterey County, and southern Santa Cruz County particularly. So, next steps. You need to follow our campaign accounts on social media, and you need to share our posts, okay? That actually matters. Like when people analyze how Mamdani won, that was one of the keys. So I know this is what people always tell you, but you actually need to do it. Like we actually need you to go follow our social media accounts. You can find them on our flyers, and you need to follow, and you need to like, and you need to repost. No matter what you have to do it. It actually really, really matters. We need volunteers to knock on doors, to make phone calls. That also is key to our success. We're ramping that up right now. It's going to cost us 10 cents per door in terms of the software that's going to coordinate all this. We don't know what our printing costs are going to be yet. We're kind of seeing how much we can raise before we design the brochure that we're going to be passing out. But if you go to our website, you can sign up to volunteer, and you can check that you're interested in door knocking, and Ashley or whoever becomes our volunteer coordinator will reach out to you. And as Ashley mentioned, we're going to be having regular, I think monthly, Zoom calls with our volunteers to make sure people feel connected to the campaign and know what they can do next. So that's really important. People need to be attending that. These, I guess some people call them palm cards.
Yes.
They're pretty high quality. You know, it's a thick paperweight. You know, it looks professional, it looks legit, but it outlines our main policy points. And then on the back, it's got a nice map of the district, because a lot of people don't know what their congressional district is, so that you can just show them the back of the card. There's also a QR code, so that people can scan it and go to our website. So, take a stack of these, give them to your acquaintances, give them to your friends. Like, it's actually going to matter. This is another case where you have to do it. You actually have to do this. Because if we're going to win, it's going to be through things like that. The last thing that I want to ask for is help seeking endorsements, particularly from organizations. I think those really matter to a lot of voters. They want to go to that endorsement page, and they want to see some logos that they recognize. So if you're a member of an organization, why don't you start reaching out to their leadership and let them know that you're interested in them endorsing me, not Jimmy Panetta. And even before you do that, you could reach out to Ashley and let them know what kind of organization it is, and maybe we could help as a campaign arm you with some of the facts so that you can make a compelling argument for why you should be endorsing this they should be endorsing this campaign. It is absolutely critical that we think long-term about organizing this district. It doesn't matter if I lose or win. Either way, it needs to be organized. Right now, we're very, very atomized. We're mostly organized at the county level, at most. That vigil group I was telling you about, I tried getting all 4 counties to coordinate. I wanted to do like, do you remember that New York teleporter thing, video teleporter thing to Ireland? Yeah, I thought we could do that. And it just fell apart because the counties didn't know how to work together. So as a through this campaign, I really hope that we can figure out a way to create some lasting infrastructure in the district, because we're either going to be fighting Jimmy Panetta next time, or we're going to be fending off whatever those ghouls behind him put up against me. Either way, we're going to need this organization. When I ran last time, I mean, it was basically just my wife and me, and we did a pretty fantastic job. I mean, you gotta say, yeah. So thanks to my wife, who's here tonight. I think probably all the other
She
night.
has a name.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you wanted people to know your name. Okay. Alex, yeah.
Hi, Alan. Thank you.
So it was basically just Alex and me, and we've got a 3-year-old, and so he was like a little over 1 at the time, and like when we were able to finally put him to bed, we would work together on the website or work together on flyers or whatever. And it's really incredible what we achieved. Now think about what we're going to do. We've got Ashley, we've got Gabe, we're already connected to US AMPAC and to MAA, like this is going to be real. This is going to be a real challenge.
You've got us, Sean. You've got us.
We've got the people, yeah. This ends the speech portion of the program.